Is Trey Lance the future of the Niners? People treat draft picks like gold, and the Niners gave up 3 first-round picks to get a guy that has a ton of question marks around him, and he hasn't even played much football even at the college level. But the upside of Trey Lance is undeniable, and that they're betting they can take all the upside out of him, make him reach his ceiling, and train him to be the level of consistency that Jimmy G has now, and still have all the other things going for him. There was a ton to take away from his last game against the Texans, a lot of good and a lot of bad, and we are going to look at all of it. And in the end, we're going to make our final synopsis on whether or not we think the Niners should go ahead with Trey Lance next season, and give our predictions for the Rams game if he's going to start or not. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the film. When going over this Trey Lance film, I was really kind of conflicted on where to start. Do I want to start with the good things or the bad things? I'm actually going to start with the negative things I saw from this game and then end with the positive, because it was a lot more positive in this game than I took away from negative, but the negative still is there and we do need to talk about it. And on this play, we see the difference between Trey Lance and Jimmy G, and not in the best way possible. So we're going to get the snap, and as a quarterback in your head, you have to know if pressure comes right away, where am I going with the ball? And right here, right away, you have this. This is open. His eyes were the left for the first time. You have this. This is open. I think Trey Lance can get too comfortable with his legs sometimes, and it really becomes to start to hurt him because he wasn't ready to make either of those throws. They're wide open, and even though his right tackle made like a blunder and made a mistake and kind of gave this up, he's not ready. He wasn't ready to throw it, and Jimmy G doesn't have the ability to run with his legs, so he would have been ready to make that. And so right here, this is kind of the second mistake I've seen on this play. If you are going to do a scramble drill, see where your linemen are, see the whole field. If he's going to throw it right now. Trey Lance is going to break out to the right and do a little thing. But look how these linemen are set up right now. Break out to the left. This is what Kyler Murray is so good at doing. It like he has eyes in the back of his head. See the whole field. Be able to vision everything. See your receivers down there. And if you're going to scramble and do a scramble drill, at least know where you blocks can set up and you know where to escape from. But he doesn't do that. He kind of messes around, and this is just cutting it way too close. Yes, he gets the pass off to George Kittle. They get a few yards on this play, but you cannot making it a living in the NFL doing this. You need to be able to take the really, really cheap underneath routes right away, especially if you see pressure coming right away. Like, look, he should have hit Debo right there. That ball should be out. If not, we have Juszczyk coming across the middle right there. You should be able to step in with someone in your face and throw that. He just didn't, and then in the scramble drill, he kind of messed up as well. And this is, again, him relying on his legs. He takes a sack because he wasn't ready, even though there was 3 options. Before every play, NFL quarterbacks need to know where to go to the ball if there's going to be pressure right away. And so right now, the Sam linebacker is going to come, and so there's going to be a free rusher, okay? And so he sees this. He should be able to see this. And right now, you need to know where you're hot at. And this linebacker's coming from right here. Throw where pressure's at. Throw it right over his head to Debo. Hit Juszczyk coming up the seam right away. Or get your running back coming out of the flat because this linebacker's coming in. You have all 3 of these options to hit. All 3 of them are good, but he wasn't ready. He was waiting for a shot. He's trying to go through his progressions, and he has it in his mind. All right, if everything doesn't go perfect, I'll be able to break it with my feet. But instead, he kind of waits. The guy's right there. He tucks it back, and he still could have made this throw to a few different places, but he ends up taking a sack. In my opinion, Jimmy G does not take the sack because he's not going to be holding on the ball that long. He's going to get rid of it quick. He's going to be a veteran quarterback, see the blitz come in right away, and throw it right over the top or to his hot route. I mean, Juszczyk is wide open going up on the seam route, Debo and the running back. So this is one of the negative plays from Trey Lance's performance. And I don't want to absolutely bury him, but we have to be fair with this because there is a lot of good, but we have 2 more plays that we have to cover. And this is a deep shot play, and he is trusting Kyle Shanahan's offense way too much because he needs to be able to see this. One, look at all the time he has in the pocket. I know I don't have the all-22 film right now. Lord knows why the 49ers and Jets game when I'm trying to do a video on Trey Lance and Zach Wilson it isn't available. But he has all the time in the world. This pocket is so clean. They only rush 3. And he throws an interception on it. This was not open, but later we're going to see what was open. And when you have 3 people rushing, yes, you need to be able to take your time and realize this. Look at Debo Samuel at the top of your screen. he is going to be streaking wide open. And Trey Lance has the ability that Jimmy G probably even does it. If he sees this late, if his eyes go downfield and he sees this, he can throw the ball almost 70 yards down the field. So it's not too late to throw this still. Debo is streaking wide open. This was a lapse in coverage. And this corner right here is going to drop and eventually get the pick on Kittle. So the running back coming out of the flats is going to be open. And Brandon Ayuk, this guy is coming over the top to try and get Debo. So Brandon Ayuk coming across the middle of the field is going to be open. Literally, he threw it to the one only person who is going to be covered on this play, but it was where the play was designed to go, so he didn't throw. He could have thrown it to the running back, Ayuk, or Samuel right there. He was reliant on the play. Yep, even the people circle it up top. They'll only rush 3, so you can't be that rushed. And plays like this just can't happen. I don't think it would have happened if Jimmy G was in the game. And the last play we're going to look at, 4th and 1. This is textbook Trey Lance. We cannot mess this one up. This is 4th and 1. You're not trying to make a splash play right now. This is a few things you can do. Hit Kittle right now. Let him get 1 yard, maybe 2 yards. He's already set himself and presented himself as a passer. This is not what you want to do when you have the ability like Trey Lance. Become a runner. Be dual threat. And he's not going to hit Kittle, which he absolutely should have. He either should have hit Kittle or tried to run for it and create the DB to either step up or come off Kittle. He tries to throw it deep. He doesn't even throw it to Debo. Debo's coming across. I think Debo should be running flatter on this, should be coming more towards Trey Lance to kind of cut off the receiver because he knows they only need 1 yard. So he needs to come under so the DB has no chance of coming over. But Trey Lance doesn't throw it to either of these guys. He doesn't take off and run. He throws it to the guy behind him, much like Baker did in that Monday Night Football game. And it's incomplete, turnover on downs. That was kind of tough. I didn't want to go over all the negative stuff, but let's get into the positive and see all the things the 49ers are able to do when Trey Lance is under center that they wouldn't be able to do with Jimmy Garoppolo. And this throw is amazing. Might be one of his best throws of the entire day. We have a classic concept. This is kind of like the Spider 2 wide banana that's been run for years, but he has a guy right in his face. So I wouldn't be mad if he hit Kittle in the flat, but unlike the 4th down, it's 1st and 10, and it's not going to be much of a gain. He sees that right now, so he's able to make this throw. He's able to step in off his back foot, laser this in there, and he is much more wide open. I know you're going to get mad at me because this is very similar to the 4th and 1 play. Circumstances matter. He could throw this to Kittle right now, way too close to the sideline. Might get a few yards, which is good. This is way more wide open. This is a throw he's able to make that Jimmy G's just not able to. So this was a very impressive throw. But again, if this was 4th and 1 and he made the same throw, I would be a lot more critical of it. And this is where he was like Jimmy G. This is when I see things that Trey Lance do, I'm like, oh, that looks like Jimmy G. In a good sense, not some of the boneheaded plays Jimmy G can make. I get so excited because if they can bring the level of consistency that Jimmy G has with the abilities of Trey Lance, there's 38 seconds left in the half, and he drives them down to get a field goal before half just by making quick, decisive reads. This is an absolute strike to the top of your screen with Debo Samuel. The Texans run a zone. He sees it. It's going to be a tight window, lasers it in there. They get a 15-yard penalty for delay of game. So this is a huge drive and just a really great throw overall. And again, I believe this is a pick if Jimmy G's throwing the ball. This is 3rd and 6 that they're going to look like they're sending pressure. They're going to drop back off into a deep zone. They're only going to send 4. But again, this needs to be thrown right now. Trey Lance has his eyes on him. He knows he needs to make this throw. The linebacker's turned this way. He's not really and he has him beat. He needs to throw it it's going to be a tight window, but nonetheless, he needs to throw it right now. He holds onto it an extra half second. The linebacker gets turned around, so now he's facing it. But the velocity he puts on the ball, he's still even able to be late on this throw and make it. If Jimmy G puts his velocity on it, that's going to be a pick, and Brandon Ayuk goes for another 30 to 40 yards down the field. This was a huge play for them. So again, I think this is where we see the rookie in Trey Lance, but also the velocity and the passes he's able to make. He's going to get quicker. Everything's going to become quicker with more time, and he's able to make these type of throws. So just imagine when he's more comfortable with the offense. So let's get into some running things now. So right now we're going to see Debo Samuels, and this is what is the biggest thing of having Trey Lance on your team that is not when you have Jimmy Garoppolo on. So Debo's going to go out here. Not only is Debo one of the most electric players on the field, the defense knows this. He knows he's going to be able to run the ball. They want to give him the ball in open space, but this is where we play the numbers game, because right now this will linebacker is going to slide out and come out of the box to protect Debo, because right now we have wide receiver. Linebacker has to account for Debo coming out there, or else they're not going to have the numbers. And this is where we can start doing some fun math. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 linemen. And so with this is, but right now, this is 6. And that is where the whole difference is, because if we're counting for Jimmy Garoppolo, we are not counting him. But defense 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the number 6 guy right here is going to come out here. So that means every single person has someone to block. Sorry, but one's going to come up to the linebacker. And so when you can play with the numbers game like this, you're able to do things like this. Take the linebacker out of the box, fake the pass to Debo, and just attack the middle of the field. And so now this is the number game, and this is what Kyle Shanahan's going to have so much. And I love this. He got down earlier in the game. He didn't slide, and he took a big hit for literally no reason. He needs to work on that a little bit. But I absolutely love seeing this from Trey Lance, because Kyle Shanahan is a genius coach, especially running the ball. And now when you get numbers like this and you have a whole extra person the defense has to account for, it's absolutely brilliant. And a lot of times he's not even going to have to do that much. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo won an NFC championship game only throwing the ball 8 times. I don't see Trey Lance having to throw it more than 20, 25 times most of the games, because he's going to do a lot with his legs. And on this play, we're going to have some more motion, but this is where you see the numbers game. We're going to have some pulling guards, some pulling tackles, and this linebacker, or this running back, I think this is use check right now, he's going to attack the ball. So when this is a 3rd and 4 and Jimmy G is handing it off and they're doing their counter action and all this stuff, now the running back is a lead blocker and Trey Lance is the primary runner. Even though they don't convert on this play, it is still a numbers game that they're going to like. They have the linebackers coming over the top. We have all the action. And even though they don't get it, this is what I absolutely love with the 49ers. I cannot wait to see Kyle Shanahan, how creative he can get with his run schemes when he has a little bit more numbers and all the misdirection they're going to be able to have. And again, I smiled a little bit when I thought it was like, oh, this is very reminiscent of Jimmy G. Under the center, straight drop back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plant, throw. Debo doesn't make this catch. You have to make this catch. But just making the simple, quick reads, not relying on your legs, being able to make the passes over the middle, which the 49ers are absolutely so staple for doing. If they're able to get this level of consistency with Trey Lance, it is going to be a problem for defenses. And I'm going to throw the play on the screen right now, what the 49ers call this, but this is what they ran in the preseason that got everyone so excited about Trey Lance when he had this 80-yard touchdown. And again, they're going to run the same thing, kind of this boot out to the right action, throw back across the field, and Debo Samuel. And I love that he purposely underthrows this ball because the safety got so far over the top of him. If he threw it, which I know he probably could make this throw 60, 70 yards down the field, but he's going to underthrow it because he sees the safety so much further over the top. This is a beautiful throw. You're able to run these deep shot plays with Trey Lance, and he's going to be able to throw them accurately. This was a huge touchdown for them. And again, when we're just able to throw these plays over the middle, we're going to have Kittle on this very nice seam route. When you're just able to step in, make beautiful throws, step into the pocket, don't rush. And on a huge 3rd and 12, the defense knows you're going to pass it. Everyone in the stands knows you're going to pass it. To convert plays like these is massive. And again, the last play we're going to look at, when you're able to just do this around the goal line, play the numbers game. Look how they just spread out the defense. You get numbers in the box. You pull Kittle, you pull a guard, you get the numbers. There was holding on this play, but honestly, I didn't really see where there was holding. I mean, yeah, I just don't see it. But this was an easy touchdown. Maybe they're on Ayuk, but it looks like he just kind of pancakes them. But again, when he's going to be able to do this stuff, and Trey Lance is a very capable passer, so he's absolutely able to pass out of these sets. But when you kind of have a Cam Newton body-like guy that's able to run it like a running back, it is going to be so hard to stop. So the last thing we need to talk about is Trey Lance moving forward. We're still not sure if Jimmy G is going to be good to go for the Rams game. I saw a lot of things. I saw he's practicing, but we're still not sure if he's going to play or not. But if he is, I suspect they'll go ahead with Jimmy G. But if he isn't healthy, I still like the Niners' chance against the Rams. I think they saw enough from this Houston game where they're going to be able to protect Trey Lance from having to make really complex reads, and will they rely heavily on his running ability and what he can do based off play action. But to me, this offseason is going to be massive for him. And I think the Niners need to make the switch because, one, you're going to get draft capital back for Jimmy because other franchises have terrible quarterback situations and will be making offers for him. And Trey has proven that he is getting closer and closer. And until he starts reaching his ceiling, his raw ability is enough to go out there and win games. He seems to be learning very quickly, and the Niners need a dynamic quarterback to fully optimize this offense, and especially in this very, very difficult NFC and division in general. I'd be surprised if the quarterback change didn't happen this offseason, and that's really what I'm pulling for because I think this offense can be so much fun to watch with Trey Lance behind center. But hopefully we'll get to see him play against the Rams. They're going to have to put up more points against a better Rams defense who's going to score more points with a better offense than Houston. I know this is a Houston defense that wasn't all that great. The Houston offense isn't all that great, so Trey Lance really needs to put his best game forward, and I think Kyle Shanahan can do certain things to put him in good situations where he's not going to be struggling and have to make really complex reads, and Jalen Ramsey's just going to have a field day with that. But get him in run situations, play the numbers game, milk the clock, don't let Stafford have the ball, and I really like their chances with the Rams. But out of everything you've seen in the film, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know if you like this video or not. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to comment down below what you think of Trey Lance, if they should move him starting forward when they make the playoffs, or what they should do against the Rams and going into next season. And make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. And as always, I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.